Hey my friends, welcome back to a new video today. We'll be talking about signs from your higher self you should not ignore. So firstly, what is higher self? Higher self is a point of consciousness or a point of awareness which is beyond your limited identity, beyond your limited awareness of your character you're carrying on. And our higher self already knows what's best for us. But because of our free will, we are moving through our own personal experiences to learn more about ourselves. But here and there we are receiving messages and guidance from our higher self, which if we learn to in tune with its guidance, our path of life becomes much easier and more flowy. So it can help us to experience more creativity in our lives. It can help us to manifest things faster. It can help us to pick the right decisions or to choose the right path when we find ourselves at the moment where we need to choose between one thing or another. But for many people, they've lost the awareness of the connection with their higher selves. And I felt a need to make a video. What are the signs we could recognize in our lives from our higher selves we should not ignore? So the first sign from your higher self is that when you feel like something just isn't right, you should pay attention to that sign, because this is coming from our higher selves. To make a greater understanding of that, imagine as you would step out of your body and you would step onto the top floor of the building and you would look downwards to yourself. You would be able to see what's in front of you, what's behind you, what's all around you. You would see at all possible sides. And because of that, your awareness would be much more expanded and you would know what's better for you. And then you would start thinking, well, how to influence the mind of your character. And the first idea would come, let's place some random thoughts into that character. Let's place some feelings into that character. Hopefully that guy will listen, or that woman will listen. And that's how it is happening when your higher self is communicating with you. You may experience here and there a sense that something isn't right. You may come to certain places and you will experience a feeling something isn't right here. Pay attention to the feeling, because maybe you will experience what is the thing or why you feel that something is not right here. What your higher self is trying to tell you. And if you will in tune yourself with that feeling, you will experience an answer. If not an answer, you will experience a certain synchronicity or a certain sign which will guide you to the right answers. Or sometimes if you feel that, if you have a random book close to you, just randomly open it on a random page and intuitively pick a word, and it can be a message for you why you're feeling that something is not right. You can play with the words that are around you, you can play with the numbers that are around you. And through numerology you can read them. What is the meaning of certain number? If you feel intuitively guided to a certain sign, you can always demystify it. So never ignore. If you feel that something isn't right, it's a sign from your higher self that you need to pay attention. You need to change something, or you need to pause yourself because of something, or you just need to become more aware of yourself. Maybe your energy is going below the usual state and you should recharge yourself. Or whatever it is, always pay attention if you feel that something isn't right. The second sign from your higher self you should not ignore is then when a little voice is whispering within your mind, pay close attention to it. Because sometimes we sense a gentle inspiration to do something. How often it happens to you that you may be like, maybe you go outside for a tea or for a coffee or whatever it is, and you just sense inspired to write something, or you sense inspiration to do something special. And maybe you don't know from where that inspiration is coming from, or you don't know why it came to you just at this present time. But do not ignore it. There's some beauty in that inspiration or in those whispers, and you just need to pay more attention to it and grab it. Take action, because as I always say to you, the universe has chosen you to express that idea. That's why it came to you, and it came to you through your higher self. So always pay attention to what you sense. If it is happening to you like a gentle voice in your mind is whispering certain specific ideas about certain things, maybe what could you change in your life, what could you do in your life, what could be the next move in your life, what is the thing that would fulfill you, or whatever it is. Sometimes we just need to ask simple questions like, what I really want in my life. And maybe you will experience a whisper from your higher self. Never ignore it. However it will come to you, never ignore it. The third sign from your higher self is that when you ignore synchronicities, or how we could also call signs of alignment, our higher self will remind us, pay attention to the synchronicities in your life, because synchronicities are always the feedback of the universe, the feedback of life that you're changing your energy. We can have positive synchronicities or we can have negative synchronicities. Let's say that you've started forgetting about yourself. You've started, putting yourself on hold, and you've started focusing on everything around you, everything else but yourself. You will start experiencing synchronicities which will start reminding you get back to yourself. Take time for yourself. Like a random song on the radio will say, I need a break, or something like that. And you need to pay attention to the signs, because that's where our higher self is reminding us what is really important in this present moment. So don't ignore that. The positive synchronicities are also the great signs, because they are telling to us we are changing our energy into the energy which we want to embody. We are shifting our energy, like we are letting go of the old anchors, and we are becoming a new beings in new bodies. We are manifesting new energy, we are manifesting new things in our lives. But before manifestations will appear, we'll start seeing synchronicities. Like people will come into our lives which maybe already have the things we're working on to manifest, and those people will just bring the right information into our lives. The right information we need at that exact moment. And sometimes we experience numbers like 1111, 333, or whatever it is that can remind you of an importance or of a recognition that there's something beautiful happening in your life. It all depends a lot about your beliefs. For example, if you believe that maybe number 999 is a truly positive sign, you will start seeing it all over the place, because that's how your higher self is communicating with you. If that is your belief about positive changes, I will show you that way. So pay attention to that. The fourth sign you should not ignore from your higher self is when you have recurring dreams or certain random memories which started to repeating in your life. We could focus on dreams firstly, because sometimes it happens that we start dreaming about the same thing over and over and over again. Dreams most of the time are coming from our subconscious mind, but sometimes we can experience our future in our dreams, so we could prepare or we could change our behaviors so we can change our timeline. And firstly, through our dreams we are experiencing certain unconscious pattern which is coming from our subconscious mind. It's a great reminder from your higher self. There's something you need to heal from your behaviors. There's something you need to heal about your emotional body. There's something you need to heal about your limited beliefs. And sometimes it may be like in your dreams you're experiencing a recurring falling into death trap, or something is chasing you. You never see what is chasing you, but you feel something is chasing you. Usually those dreams are coming from our fears. It can be a fear of death, it can be a fear of being judged, it can be, you need to figure it out from where it is coming from. But if certain dream is constantly repeating in your life, it is a great sign that you should pay more attention to why these things are happening, so you can break that cycle, so you can break that pattern and free yourself. Because your higher self wants you to thrive, to be happy, to be excited for life, to be grateful, to be passionate about things. And you know that you're limited at so many levels. That's why it is reminding you, hey, break yourself free from those limitations. Let go of what is holding you back, so you can fully emerge into a beautiful being as you are. So when your dream starts repeating, as long as you can finally see the meaning in those dreams, you will recognize that there's a beautiful lesson in those dreams. There's something beautiful life is teaching you, so never ignore that. The sixth sign you should not ignore from your higher self is that when you have thoughts that don't make sense, there's where it's actually a truly beautiful moment where your higher self is like installing into your mind certain random thoughts which just don't make sense to you. At the beginning I mentioned like you would be standing above you, looking down onto you, and you would start wondering like how to influence that person so he or she could see the lessons in his or her life. And or maybe something in your future is coming for what you should prepare, so you would not fall into a too strong emotional reaction, and you may experience a thought, like I said before, that something isn't right, or you could experience a thought that you need to call a certain person. And you may feel like it don't make sense, like I haven't seen that person for 10 years, I have nothing to do with that person, but you've suddenly started thinking you need to call that person. And if you're ignoring it, maybe somebody else will call you that something went wrong with that person, or whatever it is. I gave you maybe the worst case scenario, but sometimes we just experience a thought which doesn't make sense, and then that thought starts repeating, and then suddenly we see a manifestation of that thought somewhere in our reality. For me, it often happened in my past. It could be something related to business, for example. I remember at the beginning when I started selling my art, often it happened that somebody contacted me that he would love to buy that exact painting, but I experienced the thought that nothing will happen out of that. So I met with that person, I talked with that person, but the thought that didn't make sense to me back at that time was that nothing will happen. Stop wasting your time. That person will not help you. You need to like, your business is your responsibility, and so on. I felt that deep in my side, but I thought that like that person was honest, this is my client or whatever. But soon time revealed that nothing happened. I've wasted a lot of my time with that person, investing in whatever it was. But since the beginning I felt that it isn't right, or nothing will come out of it except some lessons that I guess I needed to learn. But if we learn to in-tune ourselves with what we feel at this present moment, we'll always sense a guidance to what is the best thing to do. Because, you know, sometimes our ego starts driving us, and that's what happened to me at the beginning. My ego started driving me, and I thought I will start earning money really fast when I opened my business and I started selling my art. And I thought that things will start moving really, really fast, so I was naive. And my higher self was reminding me, be patient with your work. Be patient with what you're doing. Things will come to you, but be patient. Don't fall for the traps where people are like robbing you from your energy and wanting to do whatever. Because at the end, everything you do is your responsibility. Nobody will do work for you. And I think we all need to go through those kind of experiences, but if we understand that there is an inner guidance, and if we truly learn to trust it, everything becomes much easier. Because now I just ask myself, does it feel right? Is it like the right thing to do? And I in-tune myself with my heart. I ask myself, what's the right thing? And I will sense. So it is much easier once we learn to in-tune with our true selves, with our higher selves. So never ignore the signs. If you sense a thought which doesn't make sense, never ignore it. And the last sign from your higher self, which is to me really the most important one, I see so many people ignoring that, is that when you ignore ongoing health issues, and you may think like they will go away, if a health issue will appear in your body, it's a manifestation of a certain pattern which is clearly not healthy for you, and it will not just go away by not changing anything. So that's where your higher self is reminding you, hey, change your patterns, change your behaviors, change your approach towards yourself and towards life. Start thinking healthier thoughts, start eating healthier food, start treating yourself in a healthier way, whatever it is. For some people, it's enough if they just shift their limited beliefs and they become more present and more conscious of themselves. They start spending more time in nature and they become more aware of the beauty and wonders that is already present. For some people, it's gratitude, which can completely shift their bodies. Even many scientific studies now are showing if you're practicing gratitude for 1 week, for 10 minutes a day, you will change your genetic expression of your cells. You will change your DNA. You will boost your your immune system for 50%, and so many other amazing things. And for other people, it can start with a healthier diet. But if we become truly more conscious and more self-aware, we can sense what's the thing that our body is craving the most right now, on that intuitive level. Like, what is the thing you're lacking right now? Is it joy in your life? Is it passion in your life? Is it love in your life? Is it like maybe you're craving more oxygen? Start some breathing exercises. Or maybe you're craving some peace of mind, start meditating. Maybe you're craving some beauty, go into the nature and lose yourself there. Whatever it is, my friends, never ignore the signs, because it can completely change your life. As I said at the beginning, your life will become more flowy. And don't think that you should figure those things out like in 1 week or in few months or in 1 year. It's a lifetime process, becoming more aware of ourselves, of that connection with our higher self. But if every single day we pay more attention to what we intuitively feel that would be the best thing to do for ourselves, everything will become much easier. So my friends, my wish for all of you is to become as aligned as possible with yourself, so you can manifest the greatest lives for yourself and eventually for the collective consciousness, so everybody can experience the greatest possible flow, the greatest wonder and beauty in your life.